Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, we have been searching for the reason why CRISPR Therapeutics fell after it got the TDT approval and the SCD approval. And I came across an article from Motley which seems to make a lot of sense. And I want to share that with you. And I'll also put a link to the article so that you can go there and read it in detail for yourself. I'm just going to give you a highlight of it because, again, it is someone else's work, but just want to share it with you. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Let me take you to the article and give you a high-level understanding of what they are saying and why it makes sense. Well, while I was searching for an answer to our question, I came across this article on Motley Fool. It is by David Jagielski, and it was, I think, published on or updated on 26th of December. And right now it is 19th of January, so I stumbled on it rather late. Most of you must have already read this, but just wanted to get it for others who may not have seen that. So what it says here in this article is it's basically buy the rumor and sell the news kind of a situation. And it's also saying that looking at the big spike in volume, it seems like there are some people who entered into the trade and they decided to take profits. I can understand that if any speculator had put money into CRISPR therapeutics and was waiting for a while in the red, they would have seen this as the best opportunity to take the money out, given that there is no, the upside is possibility is much less than the risk of downside. So that's why this could happen. And further, it also gives us a perspective about the revenue of CRISPR Therapeutics and their operating expenses. So it says in the first 9 months of the year, the company has recorded $170 million in collaboration revenue. But with operating expenses totaling $462 million, the company has incurred a net loss of $243 million over the past 3 quarters. So this operating expenses is likely to be more or less in this range. But when you look at the collaboration revenue, it may not always be 170 million. It could fall down to 0, or it could be maybe 10 million or 5 million. So there is always going to be a deficit between what CRISPR earns and what it spends as operating expenses. The fact that they are going to get profit share on Casgevy as well as for TDT as well as for beta thalassemia, it's going to mean that they are going to kind of reduce the deficit between their income and expenditure. That would mean their $1.9 billion will probably last slightly longer. But with this kind of a volume of expenses, the $1.9 billion may not last that long. So we have to keep that in mind when we look at CRISPR Therapeutics. So that's what I thought was very interesting in this article. It kind of settles the mystery for me. So I'll put the link to this article in our description section so that you can check it out for yourself. And I think it makes perfect sense. It's the long-term investors like us who believe very firmly in CRISPR Therapeutics as a strong contender to be a future blue chip, that we hold it for the longer term. I have 100 CRISPR shares, which I'm not going to sell at all. I'm holding on to it. And before we go, let us check the price action. Well, friends, here we are in the TradingView platform looking at CRISPR Therapeutics. And I'm looking at this chart, which has got all 1-day candles out here. And it's 19th of January. It's around middle of the trading day. It's around 2:46 p.m. At this stage, CRISPR is still up 0.69%. It's at $61.40. It's trying to stay above this diagonal line of support, which is what I created yesterday, if you recollect, which I called as a bullish pennant. We want to break out on the upside, which is what is likely to happen to bullish pennants. And I'm hoping for the same, but it has got resistance at 61.66. It has to break through above 61.66. Hopefully before it ends the day, and then it's going to have resistance from the 9-day exponential moving average, which is 62.33. So there is a lot of headwinds, and we have the earnings coming up somewhere around 13th of February 2024. I think around that time we'll get a catalyst, but before that the pennant ends. So the investors will have to decide whether they're going to follow this line of support or they're going to let it fall down and get the support from 59.23. So that is the big question. And if I look at the MACD, it is still weak. And if you look at the momentum, it's slightly improving. The momentum can influence the MACD and push it to the bullish side. But right now that doesn't seem to be happening. Glad that it is still positive. But if it were to fall below $60, then I'll definitely start looking at it closely with the idea of buying some for the long term. So I'm looking at CRISPR only from the long term perspective. That, my friends, brings me back to conclude this video. If you have any other theories about why CRISPR Therapeutics dropped after getting the TDT verdict, please put that in the comments. More ideas are always better. It seems to be a better day in the market, and it seems like QQQ might probably end up touching our one of our targets. So I'm very, very optimistic at this point of time. I'll talk all about that in my daily update video. Please check out my daily update videos where I talk about the market action for the day and what I'm planning for the next day. And I would look forward to your feedback and input so that we can share our ideas and do better in the market for the next day. That said, take care. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.